Good afternoon, everybody. How's things? It's a little bit warm here still, but a bit overcast over in Scunthorpe. So I hope you're having nice weather where you are. Maybe you're sat outside in the garden, or maybe there's a bit of rain and you sat indoors. But of course, as ever, who cares? It doesn't really matter because we're here for a little bit of a relax and a break. So thank you everybody for watching yesterday. It was a bit of a busy day, a long day, but yeah, got a little bit of sleep in last night. So yeah, I'm sure I'll hit the bed tonight and fall asleep as well, but it's all good. So we're ready then. What do we have today? All right, I've got my white tile, which is out of the monochrome pack. I've got my regular pen pencil tortillon. I'm honestly, I'm probably gonna leave it at that. I do have pens and things lying around, but I'm gonna see. I might leave it at that. I might add a bit of colour. See how I feel. Okay. So let's make a start then. I want to go with pencil first, and I want to do a couple little sort of grid lines. So let's sort of pick. I'm going to go across diagonally first. Now a tile doesn't normally do this enough, doesn't it? Because you've got a bit of a gauge. Let's have a look. As long as it's about, we just really want sort of a line. Oh, middleish there. Sort of heading towards the corners. And the same again. So it's a little bit different when you've got a camera in front of you, trying to sort of gauge it and match it up. It's about right. There we go. And I'm going to do it this way as well. So this one's a lot easier now. I've got a centerpiece. Just nice and light. You don't want to see these when you've finished. And then one here, look. Okay. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, I want to just sort of mark it. Imagine about halfway here. So sort of there. No, maybe there, about halfway. Sort of between this and this. Doesn't have to be exact, but just gives us a starting point. Okay. So in we go then. I'm going to start with my pen. Got my 03. There we go, 03 today. And first thing I'm going to do is I want to put a curve here from this point to this one here, like so. Okay. So then I'm going to turn it round and same again. One here. And again. One here. And again. One here. And then I'm going to do the same curve, but on the other side this time. So I'm going to take it back and put these in. Then this one. Then this one. Okay. So far so good. All right, back to pencil. Let's just imagine now we've got, let's have a look. I'm going to work. Maybe if you line it up there, see, a little mark there. So again, I'm going to do that on all sides. Same on this one. And no doubt you would have seen the little video. I've had a couple of naughty elves in today. Yeah, Dobby's took his bandages off despite being told he wasn't supposed to. Okay, so this one we're going to sort of come in and it's going to almost go behind, but he has had a bit of a change of appearance as our dog. I'm not quite sure it was meant, but it is as it is now. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you need to go and watch the video from this morning that Leslie and Tommy did. Around. You see again, it's going to go behind. And the next one, see, I'm sort of imagining and then put it in. So you've got that kind of shape. So far so good. All right. So I want to have a look now at these points here. So this line, and I'm going to just, let's put the whole line in so you can see where I'm at. And I want to maybe go in about middle again. same here, look. About middle again. Again, coming up. About middle again. And the next one. About middle again. Okay. So just above this, I'm going to put myself another one of those shapes. And then same on the side again. If you want to put a little mark so you get in the size, but they don't have to be large, these. You just want a shape to work around. And then again. Okay, so we've got one on each corner. So if I now put, let's have a look. I'm going to sort of take one of these, let's have a look. So here, I'm going to take one of these all the way over to the top of here. Okay, so following it round from this line here, along and round. And then again, from this one, along and round. And again, along and round. And again, along and round. You see? So you've got that kind of shape. So I'm going to come now around the shape, so we're doing a little bit of an aura, which is why it's good to have that construction line in there, because I can stop it at that point. And I'm going to bring it back round and along this line to join there. And then same again with this next one. I'm going to come all the way up just till I touch that line again, and then along and around to touch that line. Same again, along just a touch, and then back round. Here we go. And then again. Around this one. Then along and touching this one here. So we've got that kind of a shape. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chris. I'm glad you were able to watch. I think I've just packed your order. So if it's wrong, it's my fault. No, I'm sure it's fine. Okay. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take these two lines and they're going to come back down here to join this one. But you see, so the inner one here, it's going to come underneath and it's going to come and join that top point. So then the one just on the inside there, we're going to do a similar thing, or down, it's going to join that one there. Now if this one's a little bit wobbly or it doesn't quite work in terms of the shape, please don't worry about it. Mine might not yet. It's one of those things, just sort of go with it and just enjoy drawing it. I know sometimes I draw this particular tangle and it doesn't always want to do what you expect it to, so just go with the flow. And into the next one. Oh, Joanne, hello. You don't have to say you're late. You're fine. You've made it. Welcome. Okay. All right. Oh, no power, Patricia. Is that just like no power completely in the whole house? Or goodness me, I hope you're okay. All right. Oh, and Ree's on there, and Julie, we've got to put a zinger in here now at some point. Julie's on, we have to do zingers. All right, so let's have a look at this space now. So again, with a pencil, I'm going to mark Not halfway this time. I want to think there's half, but there's like 3/4 of the way. So there's my half look. I'm coming up. So there's my half and up a bit. So half and up a bit. Okay. Julie, I'll do one just for you. All right. So what I'm going to do now, at this point here, I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to come and join it here. So from here to here. The same this side, but this time I'm going to go from here to here. So whichever way is more comfortable for you. And again, if you feel that you need to do a practice run first, so do like a dry run, so your pen knows where you're going. I think that works really well sometimes. You get this idea that your pen's going to land where you want it to. Turning it round, the same again, so you see from here to here. And then when you're sort of used to this, you don't perhaps need to do it as much. And then the next one. So, there we go. That one. And that one. Let's have a look at where we're at so far. Okay, so we've got this kind of shape. So, we've still got a line here. Now, rather than do a point, what I want to do is I'm going to just bring it out a little bit. I'm going to create a curve that sort of comes out this way and out that way. So it sort of looks like it's going behind, doesn't it? Like it's a larger flower. Oh, Alison, yes, Cake Friday then. It's Alison's birthday, everybody, on Thursday. So Friday we'll celebrate with cake. So if you come to the live, if you're going to do it, and have a piece of cake and a cup of tea or whatever you've got to hand, we'll celebrate. 21, eh? Alison, I bet. Absolutely. Yes. Make a note of that. I think I'm going to go backwards this year, actually. I'm going to take a year off. Okay. Like this so far. It looks all right, doesn't it, that? All right. So let's have a look now. I'm going to sort of put a little line, just a little mark above, and even so slightly. There we go, see? And imagine sort of, again, if you want to use pencil, the middle of this line. Middle of this line. So I'm going to do all of those. So slightly above, look. Middle and the middle. Slightly above. Middle, middle. Slightly above. Get the idea. Are you ready? So I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to create a curve from there to there. Now I'm going to do all of them facing this way first, because what I can do is turn my tile and my hand is almost in the same position. So I'm going to get a similar curve. And then doing it this way, again, I don't really need to move my hand much. I'm going to get a similar curve. Sometimes, you know what, well, I find this, if I'm doing this kind of shape and I try and do first one side, then the other, without sort of moving it too much, then I end up with one side always looking completely different. So doing it this way, I've found, yeah, it's still a little bit different, but I found it gives me a little bit of a sort of a more symmetrical, if you can have a symmetrical when you do it by hand. Okay? So, let's have a look now. We've got this line here. So we're sort of coming back into the middle a little bit. And what I want to do is come from the point and I'm going to create a loop shape. There. And then starting on one side, I'm going to create another and another and another and another. And you might find you can only get 2 or 3. If that's the case, that's absolutely fine. And you see I'm drawing it sort of straight away, loop after loop. If If you want to draw one and stop, it's fine too. You see these are a little bit different shape than these. That's fine. Joanne, is it? Wow, yeah, it's not a grid, although it is a grid. We've actually created spaces, haven't we? So I would say this was more organic, but it does have that hint of structure. So we could sort of say it's a hybrid. So it's got a little bit of both elements in there. But because we're drawing these extra curves, that is quite organic, but tricky one that. I think I'm going to go with hybrid. Okay, same on this side. Something about drawing loops, isn't there? It's really quite therapeutic. And then the next one. So up and along and around. And that one. And this one. Okay, so we've got this in all of those little corners now. So I'm going to look at these shapes either side, this one here. Let's just turn it around a little bit. What I want to do is I'm going to aim as though this is my straight line. And I'm going to put a loop in here. And then another one this side. And another one this side. See? So again, looking at this as I've got my straight there. Let's put that loop in this side. And one a little bit bigger. And one this side. So again, you see I always have this, so I've got this vertical here. So when I draw my loop, it just feels more comfortable to me that way. If you find it easier to draw it on its side or horizontal, that's absolutely fine. It's whatever's comfortable for you. Oh, Viv, yeah, we're sending you absolutely lots of love and luck there. I hope you're going to be okay. You know that it's got to be done, so just go with it. And hopefully you'll be okay. Is it just a one day that you're in? See, I'm doing the same thing, always starting with that middle one. And working around. Same again, middle one and around. It's filling up quite nicely, isn't it? We've got lots of different things going on there, but we've kept very simple shapes. We've got this curve here, then we've got loops. This is sort of the, again, curve shape really. And loops, it's really nice. So we're going to continue that theme. I'm going to look at these spaces here. So what I'm going to do is, again, imagine the middle, a loop, and a loop. So if you wanted to do it this way as well, you could come in and do it this way, but turn your tile again to whatever's comfortable. Same with this one. Loops. And in with this one. But you just sort of, you get used to drawing the same shape each time. Nothing else really matters, it's just all about putting those loops in. And just sort of following that pen around the paper. Just sort of enjoying it really for what it is. It's just a simple little loop, but lots of them together in a certain shape start all to look quite good. Alright, there we go. Rihanna, that ship already sailed. Okay, little loop in there. And a loop in there too. And then around we go. And a loop. And a loop. Same here. And again. Okay, that's how different it looks now. So, coming back to this one here, I'm going to put some lines in. Again, starting with that middle one, then working on one side, then working on the other. And then into this one, along, and along, into the next one. And along. Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome. Hi, guys.
And the next one. See, I have not beaten Leslie to a pulp after taking Dobby's bandage off, despite the fact he could have lost his eye.
No, I've been stood in the corner all day.
On your hands.
Oh. I'm working on this one here. I'm gonna stripes for this one. And stripes down this one. And the next one. Down we go. Always starting in the middle. Working your way first to one side. Oh, and then I'm going to make a thinner one there, look. Then to the other. And along we go. And into this one. And this one. Just sort of giving this a little bit of interest there. There we go. Let's have a look at where we're at so far. It's not looking bad at all, that, is it? Okay. So we've got this little space now in between here. So there's a few things we can do. We can fill it completely with ink. We can have a bubble in there, or we can stripe it. I think today I'm going to go with bubbles. Along we go. Oh, Chris, good question about Kent. Yeah, so I'm going to get 2 in there, see? And then I'm going to fill it in. There is going to be a tangle ball at Kent. Now, I've thought about this, and if I sort of say to people, oh, you can do whatever you want, I think sometimes that puts people off because they don't really know what to do. So what I'm going to do is reproduce or do a sort of a version of one of the tiles that we've already done and put some instructions there so people can see them, but then they can use that particular tangle and do it in their own way. So I'm going to give a little bit of structure and a little bit of advice, but I'm going to take one of the tiles from book 1. Now it's going to be the one that's got the leaves in the centre. And then, you know, we're doing the tile swap. We've done that wobbly sort of swirl. It's got that in the background. So I don't know what number it is in the book there. But that's going to be one of the first tiles. I think it's 5 or 6, something like that. So that's what we're going to sort of put out there. So if you want to get a little bit of practice in and go back and have a look at that one. Or maybe do a bit of a plan. Well, you could always bring a tile ready done and put it on the wall. You don't have to physically stand there and do it if you don't want to. Being that you've got the heads up and you know what I'm going to be drawing. I will have a look in boot 1 and I'll let you know on Friday what number it is if you're not sure. I'll find the tile out and show you what I mean. So you can do that. I won't be having coloured pencils and things there. Maybe I might do. I might take some coloured pencils. People want to add a bit of colour in there. Yeah, I think I will. I'll sort something out. There we go. See, it's filling with bubbles and adding ink. I think it's going to be a really nice thing to do and be a sort of a part of, isn't it? And having this sort of huge picture of all these little tiles put together. Definitely worth doing. But sadly no postal ones. You have to physically be there, so it's one of the things. Okay, see now how much that's changed it just by having those little bits in there. I'm going to do the same for these. Oh, thank you. Is it tile 5? Here we go. See, if you can get sort of 2 in, you can put 2 in, or you don't have to. You can fill it more with ink if you like. Whatever you want to do. Again, I'm just going to fill in with ink there. I think it really changes the piece doing this to it. Of course, you could add a different colour in there if you want to. You don't have to use the black to fill in. Try something a bit different. Kind of nice actually using 2 different colour pens. Okay, and the next one. See how that's sort of, I'm going to put a large one in there, maybe a few. And yeah. Sometimes it's nice to fill the whole space in, but others, it's giving it a little bit of interest, isn't it? Adding these little bubbles in. There we go. Oh, Jackie. It'd be nice if we can see you. I know what they're like. They don't always like to go around these craft fairs and things, do they? I know that. But you could always leave him having a cup of coffee. It's a nice area. It's a nice place. Must you ever wonder? See here, I'm going to put sort of, I'm going to fill that space there with them. Sort of an even match there. Again, it takes a little bit of time this, but you know, we're not really worrying about how long it's going to take. We're just sort of enjoying the process of putting these in. Of course, if you do something that I would rather just to fill it in, you could just fill it in. The same with this one. There we go. So I hope we have nice weather when we go to Kent. We do tend to, usually, and it is the end of September, so it's not usually too bad, is it? Nice to have a little bit of sun, won't it? So again, I'm going to put one on the top first. That's sort of where the focal bit is, isn't it? So we want that one to be there. Then fill in with pink. Okay. Oh, Carol, I'm sure, yeah, there's going to be quite a few of us tanglers there. And I did, as you asked, I did put badges on the website. So if you're all wearing your badges, we'll all be able to identify each other. It's like our little code. So I'll have mine on. And Leslie's coming with us as well. So it'll be me, John and Leslie. there we've got the dogs booked in to their little hotel for the weekend. So that should be good. Let's have a look at this. It's looking really good, isn't it? How different. We've got a couple more here to do. Oh, hello, Jules. Not seen you on here for ages. Is Caitlin with you? Is she out and about doing stuff? I'm going to put another one in there. All right. Oh, Julie, I know Gateshead. I don't think Be Creative have organised anything for Gateshead, have they? Is it just the Kent one this year? But absolutely, if they let me know, we'll have a look at dates and things. And of course, it's going to be different, isn't it, this year? Because Hobby Maker are going to be there too. So that should be nice. It'd be nice for you to meet some of them actually, because they are really nice people there. They're very, very approachable. And of course, I suppose Andy Love's going to be there. No, Dave isn't. He's got tickets for Moulin Rouge, as he was saying yesterday anyway, so. Okay. Just get them there. Oh, God, I know. Cornwall's a long way, isn't it? But, if we ever decide that we are coming down there for a break, I'll let some of you know. We'll have to meet up and, I don't know, take over a pub. Sit and tangle on the napkins. Okay, so I'm going to just take these pencil lines out of here now because I want to leave those quite free. It's nice as well to have some areas that are not tangled in, just so your eye can have a rest in places. Let's have a look at that. There you go, see? That's much better. I think what I am going to do though is I'm going to, where was I going to add that colour in? Ah, yes. I'm going to bring some black ink to those little spaces there. There we are. Oh, yeah, no, it's very difficult when we were looking for somewhere to sort of, you know, base ourselves. Finding somewhere was really tricky. Okay, so I promised that I was going to put some zingers in for Julie, and I know Chris likes them too. So rather than put them on the outside, I am actually just going to put the odd one. There you go. Yeah. Just sort of on the inside. It's not something we usually do. But I'd like to keep a clean, crisp line around the top there. So, sort of fitting them in the middle there. And, oh yeah, Garth, we need to perhaps look at that. We need to plan a bit of a getaway so we could bring the dogs as well. Maybe spend a bit of time. Okay, I'm just going to put a line, see a couple of little dots on each of these shapes. There's a larger dot and then a smaller one, you know, as you're working from the middle outwards. Just gives it that little bit of sense of distance. Oh, I know, I've never been to Ireland. We actually passed through. I think we went, oh gosh, it's the last holiday abroad, I think. We went to Lanzarote. And we went via there. I think that was it. I'll have to ask John. John? He's not there anymore. He's wandered off.
What?
When did we go through Ireland to get to a holiday? Was it Lanzarote?
What was that, sorry?
When did we stop in Ireland on a flight?
when we're going to...
Was it Lanzarote?
No, we'll go over to America.
Oh, was it? It was actually America?
Yeah.
Oh, I do apologise. I have no idea.
It was when we're going for your... to visit the hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That weird hotel.
Oh, right, okay. So it was America. Gosh, it's so long ago, I can't remember. This is lovely, this, isn't it? I'm really enjoying doing this one. Just putting these extra dots in and things. Really changing up. Again, if you want to use different colours to create the, you know, different things here. Maybe use, I don't know. I want the dark blue. It's not going to look too sort of drastic, is it, in terms of contrast? It's just a nice way to start introducing a little bit of colour. But you don't have to. And of course you might have an inked tile, or you might decide that you want to use a coloured tile to start with. The difference that's made, all those dots and lines. It's all about that extra layer, isn't it? Each time. I'd love to go to Ireland. I'd love to go and paint some of the scenery, actually. Yeah, it looks fantastic. But, yeah. We don't seem to get out much, John and I, these days. We're a little bit busy, but in a good way. There you go. So this would actually work really well with the, you know, you could use some little gems or your gel pens. And if that's the case, I'd perhaps do this once I'd shaded everything, because you don't want your shading to go over your gel pens. Oh, Christine, yeah, I do paint. Actually, I don't know if you saw the video that we put out for Hobby Maker for the last show, where Dobby was in my bag and he was, you know, sorted all the stuff out for me. There's a painting behind me that I did. So yeah, I do paint. Not as much these days, but I do. I think I sort of raffled one off, the painting. It was a watercolour when we first opened the headquarters back in September. I think Louise Mahoney won that. Not Mahoney, Louise McNally won that painting. So yeah, I've done a few. I do all of it, Christine, to be honest. I like to have a mixture, watercolour, oils, acrylics, you name it, honestly. Okay, let's have a look at this. All right, I'm going to come in now with pencil. And I'm going to start in the middle and work my way outwards. Oh yeah, Louise, you did win that painting, didn't you? That watercolour at the show opening. We were just talking about painting. And into there. And into this one. So I'm going to do the same here. This one, see as it goes underneath, and then definitely at the top. But I think for the most part this is going to be top and bottom, because we want that little bit of definition there. Okay. I'm going to just sort of, I think for these, just for a bit of difference, I'm just going to do in the middle. Just looks like it's sort of blooming out then. And then this one. Oh goodness me, Christine, then you must share some of your work. So this one again, I'm going to come around the bottom here and the top, but then these I'm going to add a little bit along that area there. Same in there. And then working my way around. So systematically do this, because it is easy to miss something, and yeah, you can go back and do it afterwards. but it's just nice, I think, to get them all in as you go. Okay, see, next one. So top and bottom of this one. So there's quite a bit of graphite on here. We could have actually done it, you know, and used the tortillon as we were going round, but sometimes I like to leave it till the end. So here where this crosses under, I'm going to put a little bit of pencil as well. So as I work my way around each of them, a little bit underneath. Same with this one. And a little bit underneath. And next one. Along. There we go. So I think that's most of it. So I've treated myself to a new tortillon. Look at this, all nice and clean and pointed. And just going to take my time. First working on the centre bits, top and bottom. Now, as much as possible, we want to leave a little bit of a highlight in the middle there. So I'll do this one while I'm here, so I don't have to keep moving my tile. Next one's this one here. So we know those zingers are there, but they're not really now standing out like they usually do. It was just ours. Having that little bit of a sneaky one in the middle there. Okay, love that. So then into this one, again, top and bottom. Just leaving that little highlight in the middle if you can. And then the next one. There we go. Okay. So working on these, I'm going to, again, just gently sort of push it outwards, but leave some of the white of the cardstock underneath showing. And if you're using a coloured tile, you could actually add a bit of your white chalk pencil there. And that would really bring that out. But there's no need for me to do that today because I'm working directly on a white tile. So, that's the next bit. It's almost like there's a lot of organic sections in this, but it's contained, isn't it? So we're trying to tame it today, keep it all prim and proper. Okay, so that's all the sort of the centre bits done. So now we'll move to the outer edges. There's a little bit around there. And then as before. Excuse me. Just work around. Leaving that little gap on the edge there, a bit of highlight. I need bones in my cup of tea. Same on this one, and again. See, I've not done the top of that one. And into there. And working our way around. And then next one, into this bit. Just again, leaving that little highlight in the middle. You see, you don't really notice that little shape there that we did, but we know it's there. If somebody wants to look a little closer, they'll see it too. And then round we go. And into this one. And the next one. So I suppose the decision's got to be, am I going to shade around the outside of it? And I think there's another area we can possibly look at the shading too. So let's have a look. Just going to sort of work it round and see what I think when I've done this bit. Again, top and bottom of this one. There we go, and just the bottom of this one. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this. All right, so there's a couple of little areas I'm going to come back in with pencil. Now, because you see, you look at this bit here and it looks like this stands out in front of this. So if we were going to shade, we'd shade inside here and here, or we could shade on the outside to give it a shape. So it's a little bit of a choice, isn't it? We could go in or out. So let's have a look. I think if I was going to go in, I'd probably colour all the way around here and then out. So, oh, a little bit. Let's go outside, I think. Let's do it this way. So I'm really going to come out with some pencil there. Look at the difference that's made. And then into the next one. And along. And the next one. And along. And there. Along. Okay, so you see now this one looks like it's standing in front of this. So I think I'm going to do both, and then you can see you could leave it at this. But I'm going to come on in and I'm going to do the inside as well. So I'm pressing on quite a bit because there's a lot of black underneath there. But, yeah, you see I'm sort of ignoring everything behind this little set of petals here. And then around and along. It's amazing, isn't it, how you've done that drawing, it looked great, but putting some pencil over the top of it really changes it. Okay. I'm just going to come in with my tortillon and just really gently, I'm going to soften it round. So I'm not moving it too far, you see I'm just working in swirls and just sort of cleaning that edge, or just softening that edge a little bit. See, it's a little bit there. Let's see, on this one. And along. And this one. Then along we go. And along. You just sort of keep that going. You don't worry really about what's underneath. We've already done all of that. And you just want to enjoy putting this over the top. And then along. And along here. Okay. So I think that is at the point. I mean, we could actually still, we could shade here to bring this out. Oh, let's just do it. And then at least you can see it, can't you, rather than me leaving it there. And if you think you want to leave it at a certain point, you can. If I do it, and then you can see how it sort of looks. So again, you see I'm going over everything. Yeah, that's quite nice. And along. Oh, hey Louise, yeah, that sharpener, absolutely. But, if anybody saw the bunny sharpener that was on the desk yesterday, Louise did buy it. Louise and her mum brought it me. I brought us all one at the last class. So. Yeah, I do take it with me. It's a fantastic sharpener. But it sits on the desk. Out of Dobby's way. Dobby's tried to put his fingers in it. He thinks it's really funny, but the rabbit tries to bite back. So. Luckily, he hasn't lost any fingers. Oh, Christine, TAR 55? No, honestly, I don't know. I could probably sort of work out which book it's in, but I do have all of them in a folder, so I don't... no, I don't know what... Does anyone else know what tile 55 is? Gosh, that's like 200 tiles ago. Oh, goodness me. All right, so at this point, I'm not going to shade around the outside. I'm going to leave it as that. I think it's... Oh, no, let's just do it. Oh, I've not done that one. See, I'm too busy talking and reading the chart. I'm not focusing on my job. There we are, let's do that one. Okay, let's have a look. See, on this one, goodness, what am I doing today? I think I'm a bit tired. There you go. And I will, I'm going to go round. I'll go around this bit as well. I'm not going to do it as dark though, I think. Just do it a little bit lighter. And of course, then you can stop wherever you go. Oh, thank you, Rhea. I remember the keyhole one. Yeah, and we did it's like a sort of a sea kind of wave design going all the way around it, wasn't it? And it was a round tile. I remember now. Okay, just so nice and light around there. See, not so much. I think this is another one we perhaps spent more time shading it than we did drawing it. But I think it's really pretty. I think this one would look really nice on a black tile with using a gel pen. Maybe a white. You know, so it looks a bit lace-like. There we go. So just adding that little bit of shading there. That's actually, yeah, I do like it. I'm just going to bring in a black pencil just for a moment. You see we've got our centerpiece here. So I'm just going to add in just a little bit of black in there. Just want to make sure that we know where the, I know we know where the middle is, but we're just redefining that middle bit there. Yeah. And just a little bit on the ends. I'm not pressing on too much here. Just want a little bit. Just to redefine. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're after today. Now, if you find that you've got quite a lot of graphite on your centerpieces, then get yourself a rubber and actually cut the rubber so you've got a really neat, clean, sharp edge. You can go in and you could add some of the highlights in if you needed to. Well, that is probably done. I think that probably looks okay, and really pleased with it. So there we go. There's the signature going on there. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what you're going to do with this one. It's really nice. Imagine this on a macro. Actually, you could put this onto a macro and then you could continue with the lines. You could continue doing these shapes. That would look lovely. So yeah, okay. All right, I'll leave it at that. And the rest of you, you know, have a good day, what's left of it, and we'll back to packing. And I'll catch you all again here on Friday at 2 o'clock. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.